Get strong.
Welcome to the first episode of the Hear Me Out podcast with Cameron Franklin and Chase Perry. We are a couple that has very contrasting opinions, but at the end of the day, believe that we both deserve the opportunity to be heard out. And so you'll often hear on this podcast, even in episode 1, us both asking for the request to be heard out in our takes. It's the first episode.
I feel like we should have an account.
That would probably be a good idea.
Right?
That would probably be a good idea. Maybe the audience can keep count for us.
Maybe.
On how many times you guys say hear me out.
It honestly might be a lot to ask, though.
It is a lot to ask. This is a relationship where the phrase, can we go over the names that were initially the idea for this podcast? Because
Sure.
it was a bit of a trip. So we had one that was specifically called Let Me Finish. Mm-hmm. And it was a popular one. I mean, I think that we both liked it at first because that is the real tagline of our relationship.
Yeah. Every discussion / argument that we have at some point, it's usually you. It's usually you, but
okay, come on now.
I'm just saying it's usually you because I interrupt you a lot. Do I not?
But you're also, can I finish, Cameron?
That was
finish?
That was the other. Yeah, that was the one I liked. I liked Can I Finish more than Let Me Finish.
Okay, well,
yeah,
they're practically the same thing. That was the original idea for the podcast name. But yeah, I think that we both believe entirely, wholeheartedly, that even though we may not agree on everything, this should not be an echo chamber, and we should not be forcing someone to consume somebody else's ideas. So the goal of this podcast is to listen and to understand, comprehend, and hopefully take something away from whatever we're trying to do here. So
yeah, and I think that's something else why this is hopefully a good idea for us is that it will teach us that we do not necessarily have to reach a consensus. Is that the right word? Mm-hmm. With these discussions, and that instead we can just know that sometimes it's okay to agree to disagree.
Right.
You know?
Just make sure at the end of the day, a person feels heard.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for. Listen, I know that we are not the only Hear Me Out podcast out there in the world, but we'll be a special one. So if you would like to...
Did you have to bring them up, though?
I didn't have to, but I feel like it's important to acknowledge. We are a special one. So if you would like to subscribe to us on YouTube, click follow on Spotify, Apple Music. We'll probably have an Instagram one of these days, maybe even a Twitter. Who knows?
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? Our social media manager is right here with me, so
I was about to say, is that me? Is that my job?
I will be handling a lot of the audio and visual stuff.
That's a lie. I'm doing the audio.
I said audio and visual, just to be clear.
Okay.
But yeah, she'll be handling a lot of that other stuff. Another thing that we would love to ask for is podcast topic ideas. Please be sure to leave those in the comment section wherever you can find us. We'll be having links to our Instagrams, Twitters, whatever social media you can imagine, except TikTok for me. We'll get into that.
I was about to say.
If you want to reach us, I promise you that we will have options. Before we get into our main discussion for today, which I'm sure that you have seen by this point, we are going to talk about our highlights and lowlights of the week. I have been talking a lot to start off this episode, so I'm going to let Chase take it away for the first part.
Thank you.
Of course.
I think that my highlight for this week is that, little background, I am an actor. So being in front of the camera... Actor, actress, I mean, honestly.
I'm just joking.
It'll
Actor is
do.
a unisex term.
There we go. And my name is a unisex name.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm an actor, actress. So a lot of my time and money is spent being rejected from things. But this week, I got cast in a movie, right? Whoa. And then I also, like, every single day this week, I have some kind of project that I'm working on, which is really cool. That doesn't happen every week, trust me. So there's that. Also, I guess the low for this week, I'd say it's a low. It hasn't happened yet, but it's about to happen. One of my best friends is moving to Minnesota.
Yes.
Yeah, and I had to say,
And she didn't cry.
I didn't cry. Here's the thing. My best friend Daisy, they are very emotional, especially when intoxicated. And they were very intoxicated last night. So they were like bawling, glasses all fogged up. It was a big thing. And it's not that I wasn't emotional, right? You know personally, Cameron, I am an emotional person. It's not that I wasn't emotional. It's that I don't think it has necessarily set in yet. I think that it usually takes me a while for people leaving my life for that to actually like hit me. And so I don't think it hit me as they're gone yet.
I think it's probably gonna hit you. It's probably gonna hit you hard because, mind you, this is a very like short-term kind of burst of relationship. I don't even think that they've known each other for more than 6 months, if I'm correct.
We have. No, yeah, we met last year in June. So it's almost
okay. Well, it's not even been a year. Yeah. And they consider themselves to be best friends. So I don't know. Maybe it's just like it's one of those things where it is going to hit you later, but I do think it'll hit you hard, just because they have been a staple of your life for a little bit, especially when you graduate in college and you had to transition to like all your friends kind of fall off for a little bit.
Yeah.
You found Daisy, so
that's definitely the low. It technically hasn't happened, but I can anticipate that it's going to be the low because last night, I just hit the camera. Last night was possibly the last time that I saw them before they do the drive. Hopefully not. Hopefully I can like run back over there and say hi and bye again.
And cry this time.
And maybe shed a tear or 2 or 7.
Droplet.
A droplet. But
nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I still have hope that we might see each other again within the next 3 days. But I think they were almost certain that yesterday was going to be the last day. That also could contribute to why I didn't cry. Anyway, enough about me. How are you doing, Cameron? How's your week?
All right, let's talk about it. I mean, I'm in a very boring stage of my life, to keep it real with you. I am in school. I'm in grad school right now, but at this point, I'm only in one class, my first semester, and it's boring. I'm gonna keep it a bug with you. It's very, very boring. I go to class once a week. I study for the rest of the week, and whenever somebody asks me what I'm doing, it's the same thing. I'm either studying or I'm watching YouTube. Maybe I'm playing video games. Maybe I'm trying to make content for YouTube, but typically, if you ask me what I'm doing, I see you pointing to yourself. Typically, you're the person asking me what I'm doing.
That's so true.
It's one of those 4 things. But life will be getting more exciting shortly. I'm gonna be traveling a lot, which I don't like, but
oh my God, this again.
What it's gonna be. Yeah, I mean, listen, deep inside my heart, I don't believe anybody enjoys traveling. I think that they just say these things because traveling is a thing to do.
It's not necessarily the act of traveling, like getting on a plane, getting in a car.
That's what I'm talking about, though. That's what I'm talking about, though. The act of traveling.
Are you from Staten Island now? Hold up. Did anybody else hear that? That's what I'm talking about, though. That's what I'm talking about.
Hold on, hear me.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Hold on. Hear me out.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. I think that the act of traveling gets confused as traveling to new locations. Well, I'm specifically talking about getting on a plane, standing in line to take off your shoes and put them back on.
Oh my God.
Sitting in a car for 6 hours. No one enjoys that. And if you're trying to tell me that they do, like, introduce me to the person. Introduce me to the person. I ain't met him yet. You feel what I'm saying? So once you introduce me to the person, let me know. All right.
Okay.
Might be we don't even have to go there. Anyways, I don't know what highlight I was trying to get to. I think I was just trying to say that I'm trying to reassess and enjoy some of the time that I have that can be considered leisure time, because it's going to get real busy for me in a second. I will be starting work soon. It's going to be some hectic, crazy work, but it's going to be looking good for me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just keep doing me in that regards. In terms of low light. In terms of low lights, I would say, I don't know why I got stuck up on that. I would say that I've been making it one of my goals this year. Like I always, every year I have like a list of things that I want to accomplish, and then I write down things or tips or ideas that help me get to accomplishing those things. It's kind of like just like a yearly catalog for me. And one of the things that I've added to this year's inventory is to take life a little less seriously, because like, bro, life is tough. You know what I'm saying? I think just adding some more laughter into your life takes away from the poison of it all. Because it can get kind of toxic, man.
Kind of?
No, I'm just playing. But I think that I get caught in moments where it's just like, you can take life a little less seriously. And I think when you take yourself less seriously, life is far more enjoyable. And you find that people are far less like combative with you and like, just like laugh, bro. Like I heard some dude say like, I laugh hysterically. This man I heard said, I laugh hysterically once a day. I'll be lucky if I laugh hysterically once a week. You know what I'm saying?
You're not great at the emotional side of things.
So, but like, I hunt down ways to laugh. Like I watch people that I want to laugh at every day. And sometimes they can't get me to laugh hysterically, but they are like the only people. I need to start getting into moods more where I can laugh hysterically at anything. And I used to be able to I have phases of like life that I go through where I'm able to do that. I can just laugh at the most random things, like somebody singing the national anthem. I can go off.
Oh my God, no, stop!
Because
he laughed at that. It was a couple weeks ago. He laughed at that for like 30 minutes straight. I was on the phone, and I didn't know what was happening, and he's just cackling. And like you said, he does not do this a lot, and so I was like, what is this man laughing at? And I tried to ask, but he could not speak. He was not able to speak. And I think we hung out like, a day or two later. And I was like, what were you laughing at? He showed me and he starts doing it again. He started laughing hysterically again. We were driving and he was laughing just hysterically.
Well, who's not going to laugh at Fergie? Anyway, I'm not going to cover Fergie like that.
Fergie was not. It was not that funny, man. It was not that funny.
But the point is, I know that when I can do stuff like that, I'm in a good place. And I haven't had a lot of that this week or past months. So you need to incorporate some more laughs in life. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's also what you as the audience will come to see in these discussions of ours. Cam has always had this like taking life a little too seriously disease. He's more of a realist, and I'm more of an optimist. He's more of a pessimist sometimes.
Can be cynical.
A little cynical. I completely attribute this to the fact that I'm an actor, and so my entire life is the movies or television shows where everything's supposed to kind of work out. That's just how I see the world. Now, I realize that it's not that way, that things don't work out in the way that I want them to all the time. But I like to think about things like that. I like to imagine that they're going to work out the way I want them to, even though we're all aware that it's not going to. It's good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, it's not that I'm like not a happy person. I think that I have happy moments, you know what I'm saying? It's just more often than not, you know what I'm saying? I can get caught up in the fog of it all. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say that's a low light. That pretty much wraps us up for that part.
Yeah. And I mean, okay, so this will kind of tie us into our main discussion for today. But a lot of what, I don't know, especially in the beginning of our relationship, a lot of what caused our discussions was the fact that we literally just see the world in two completely different ways. Right? I don't know. I think that it can come down to literally anything. And we can think that we're on different sides, but sometimes we're on the exact same side. And it's just wild that because we see the world in two different ways, we are the epitome of that whole like opposites attracting thing, you know, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Because
indeed.
oh my God, even with careers, I'm an actor. What are you in, Cam? What do you do?
So I dip and dabble in a
Oh my
lot of
God,
things.
the drama.
So I make some YouTube content, but I guess if you say where does my primary income source of income going to come from, I'm going to be a software engineer.
Software. He's into freaking computers, computer engineering, and all that kind of stuff. Could not be more different.
Well, okay, let's differentiate for a second. Computer
Oh
engineering,
God.
software engineering is two different things, baby. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure you understand it too. Computer engineers be mad at me because I went through about a half a semester of computer engineering. Whew.
Oh yeah, it's the hardware versus software thing, right?
Yeah,
That's what you're talking about.
It's more electrical versus software, but yeah, practically.
Really?
What?
I just feel like hardware versus software was good enough. And you have to make that distinction now. And I appreciate that.
I'm trying to hold it down for the computer engineering people out there. They know what's up. If you know,
right.
You feel me? If you know it.
All right. So into this main discussion, for a little background, we are 2.5 years into this relationship, and we can get into how it all started at another time, in another place, if you guys want to know that information. But I think we very quickly realized that there was a difference in how we discuss things. And because of that, we realized that we're not exactly stereotypically compatible. For some reason, I love him to bits, and he loves me to bits. He thinks he loves me more, but that's just a lie. And so, I don't know. I want to talk about it. What do you think? What do you think about this whole opposites attracting thing?
So, let's talk. Let's talk about life. I'm watching the show. Me and Chase have a little deal where we watch shows. I watch a show. I give her a show. She gives me a show. I have to complete the show. She gives me. She gets the show. I give her.
All the way through.
The show I'm currently watching is Gilmore Girls. Now I'm not gonna say that I don't enjoy Gilmore Girls. I don't think it's a bad show by any means.
Much.
If I were gonna grade it from where I'm currently at right now, I'd probably give it like a 7. Like it's solid. It's good. It's decent TV. You can tell it's quality show. You know what I'm saying?
Bro?
But the problem that I can see which is where I can kind of relate with our relationships is Rory. I don't even really spoil too much here, but basically a main character gets with a guy that's a really, really good guy, really solid guy. Like, bro, I'm not gonna go that far, but let's say if a guy, just a random guy, were a girl, he might want to marry this guy because he's just a typical good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, stereotypical. He checks all the boxes that you necessarily should want in a guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You feel me? But this girl, just for whatever reason, decides that she ends up leaving him for a bad boy. The stereotypical prototype bad boy, right? The guy that doesn't really exist in real life.
Oh my God.
You can kind of see there where it's like, I can start to ask the question there, do opposites attract, right? He's this guy that doesn't really care about school. They've got kind of a different sense of humor, blah, blah, blah.
But that situation is exactly why I think that opposites do attract. Or why
Hold on now, because let's think about it for a second. At least where I'm at the show, the attracting ain't attracting them. You feel what I'm saying? So
sure, that's fair. But I'm saying the initial attraction, sure. The initial attraction, I think, is that the relationship between Rory and Dean, or the good girl and the good guy. It's what you know. You're a good girl, so you want somebody that is compatible with you. You know what I mean? You want something.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. You want somebody that's nice. You want somebody that's good, and that has your same values. But there's something intriguing about something different, and that's in every piece of life. There's something about the opportunity for a new job that you don't know a lot about. That's more intriguing than a job that you've been kind of doing for a while. You know what I mean? you want to know the unknown. Exploring the unknown is so much fun. It's exhilarating. And that's not to say that the deans of the world, the good guys of the world, and the good girls of the world should not be together. No, that's not at all what we're saying. But I think that the bad boys, there's something there that it's just like you want to know what's behind that.
Well,
you know what I mean?
we can take it a step further and take it away from just being good girl, bad guy. Let's just say any opposites in general, right? So we have, you know what I'm saying, a super athletic girl and a guy that it's books only. You know what I'm saying? Will this relationship work out? And what is it? So is it just a snap, you know what I'm saying, a quick flame of fire where it's purely lust? And, you know, so is our relationship right now just built off an over, probably from the audience,
Really?
built off an overly elongated form of lust? Or is it actually...
No. Let's
hold
pause.
on. Let me get to the entire question. Or does it actually work where, like magnetism, opposites do attract, and there's something long-term compatible in this? So before, because it seems like she want to go off on a tirade right now. I'm not even finna let her do that. Before we even get into it, I just want to say that I feel like I see it work. And if anybody's ever met my parents, you probably know that it works. My mom.
Why would anybody have met your parents, man?
I promise you, people will watch this podcast and met my parents.
I mean, I guess.
So I'm trying to say, at the end of the day, is I think that it can work, but the problem that I think we want to get to is it worth it? You know what I'm saying?
I will not go off on a tangent for you, just for the sake of the fact that this is a medium that should not be too long. But I think I don't know. I think that there is a good side to the opposites attract thing, and I think there's a bad side to it. Oh my God, stop hitting things, Chase. I think that in situations...
Tell that to me. What? I'm saying you hit me a lot.
No, I do. Stop it. We're not doing this right now. We are not doing this.
I'm not saying she just beats me up, but she'll start smacking me around, y'all.
Oh my God, it's because he's mean to me. That's the only reason I would ever.
Okay.
Other than that,
like a mean person. Go ahead.
You do. You look rough. Anyway, I think that there are it's a situational thing, because I think that for us, it works because at the core of things, we have similarities. You know what I mean? Like our values in life are more or less the same. What we hope to achieve in life, career-wise, family-wise, whatever, those are more or less the same as well. I think it's honestly just the smaller things, at least with us, that differ. What concerns me about the opposites attract thing is when like the values and belief systems and future plans, all that about a couple don't match up. Right. Because then what are you working towards? I've always had the mentality of, and it's weird to have this mentality in like high school, but I did, and clearly I made some bad decisions. With this in mind, because those who
knows it's clear.
Here's the thing: if people are listening to this, that will know your parents.
Oh right, yeah. They know
other people will listen to this
sure.
that know my high school drama. 100%. Anyway, I have always thought that you date someone either with the intent of marrying them or with the intent of breaking up. Like there's no other way that this ends. At least to me, there's no other way that this ends. And so I think that certain people, if you don't agree on those core values, those beliefs, whatever, blah, 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 what are you in this for? You're in this to break up. And so you're just wasting everybody's time. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like...
No, I hear you.
What are we doing?
I think that there's definitely, it's probably better to be opposites in personalities, which is what I think that we are, as opposed to values. Like,
because you even each other out. Because I don't know if you've noticed, just in the 20 something minutes we've been on here, I'm loud and I am dramatic, and I do a lot of things that are maybe not the way an average person would do them. And Cameron is very laid back, calm, not much phases him. You know, he's grounded. And I feel like a person like me, who is in the air all of the time, needs somebody who's safely and securely on the ground to make me not be insane around the public.
See, that's crazy because I do consider myself to be a very down-to-earth individual. You know what I'm saying? I try and keep it a buck with you. You try to keep it a buck with me. You feel what I'm saying?
Attempt.
She's more like bubbly. She wants to be a social butterfly type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it works. But the crazy part about it is I never pictured myself with that girl. So I'm questioning you. Did you ever picture yourself with that guy?
I was only ever attracted to that guy. If you look back at the guys that I was entangled with in high school,
I don't even know.
None of them ever matched my spirit. And I think that it's very rare to find a human that matches my spirit. I have found a couple.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm not going to let you lie on people because I know people that can match your spirit 100%. Go ahead.
I have met a couple, but it's not every day that you meet somebody that matches my type.
That you're also attracted to. I'll say that much.
No, just in general,
okay,
but
buddy.
Especially that I'm attracted to. Like the percentage is minimal. And so I feel like when I was getting into attraction towards people, I always was attracted to people that were either super quiet and like reserved, or that like they were passionate about their one thing and then everything else was kind of just like, it's whatever. And I think that passion is what drives me to people. Like you're
I'm passionate about certain things.
You're very passionate about certain things.
But everything else I couldn't care less about.
Exactly, including most of the time when I talk. Anyway, I think that his passions in life you got that one? I think his passions in life is what attracted me to him, because the fire I saw in those passions matched the fire I have for basically anything in life.
Like a game of Jenga. Catch me, game of Jenga. I'm very
here's
passionate.
the thing. No, him and Jenga. What was it? Was it Christmas when I was at your house? With your family, and his dad and brother cheated. Oh my gosh, they cheated. No, his dad was like putting a brick on the top of the stack, and literally the tower's fallen. And instead of like letting it fall and being like, oh no, I lost, his dad uses the brick he's holding to push the tower back up. Because I just think it's funny.
It wasn't even the Jenga story.
It has nothing to do with this.
It's not even the Jenga story I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Jenga story. So we both went to the same college. We were both our age.
At the beginning.
And like, I think that she saw me probably, the only place that she probably didn't see me in my most passionate states, because she saw me on passionate states in Jenga. Mm-hmm. She saw me in my passionate states playing random games. Like we played this one game outside. Snaps. We played a bunch of games. Yeah.
You hated snaps.
That's basically the places. Other than that, like basically the only place she didn't get to see me passionate was in sports. Mm-hmm. But yes, I'll definitely say it about me. I have the things that I care about very much so. And then there are other things where it's just like, let's not even really give a, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just not that deep. But for her, everything's kind of deep.
Everything is that deep. And I don't understand.
Except the stuff I care about. The stuff I care about.
That's not, okay, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
I'm just saying, like, if I...
interesting.
It's because I don't understand it. He's very smart. Like, very, very, very intelligent. And because of that, he has conversations with me where I'm just like, okay, yeah, 100%, totally. And I don't understand a word that he's saying. And I don't want him to like not share these things with me. And so I say like, interesting, because I'm like, I feel like it's supposed to be interesting. I just don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm very pseudo-philosophical. She says I use words that I don't know what they mean. I do know what they mean. I just don't carry around a dictionary definition with me.
It's not
time.
about carrying around a dictionary definition. It's just that like sometimes if you're gonna use a big word, use it right and know for sure that you're using it right.
Now you see, hold on. This is one place where I'm not gonna let you disrespect me. I know I'm using the word right.
No, okay. Do you want me to give you an example that we literally proved you wrong?
No. Unless you're gonna use the word, what is it? The word that I use to say that I'm using the wrong grammar, or wrong syntax. Sure, I'll admit that's the one place where I'm oh my God, I'm using the wrong word. But most of the time when I say things like pseudo-philosophical, yes, I know what pseudo means. Thank you very much.
Okay, I know that you know what pseudo means, but I'm saying, I think there's some words that you're saying just because you know a big word.
I think what else is the point of...
What's the point? Who are you trying to impress?
So what is the point of... So, okay, hear me out. Audience, hear me out. What is the point of vocabulary? I'm saying, what is the point of using one word where you can use 4 others? Efficiency. You feel what I'm saying? Instead of saying the definition of efficiency in simpler terms and layman's terms, I could say efficiently. Check this out, and use less words. That's the thing.
But if you're switching it up, if you're using the word, I don't know, I can't think of anything because I'm dumb. But if you're using what? That's not what I was trying to say.
Okay, I'm just saying.
If you're using one word to substitute, like one big word to substitute for just a single word that means the same thing, it's just a simpler word. What's the point? Oh, you don't do that?
Give me an example. You can't. You can't. Like, look at her, y'all.
Here's the thing.
She's trying to think of it. She can't.
You know why I can't think of it? Because I don't know the words that you use. I don't understand the words. So why? Did I just have a stroke?
Why?
Oh my God. I just had a stroke. Why would I lock that word or that memory into my brain if I didn't understand what was happening?
You was ready to bust it out just a second ago. Remember that? Oh, you want an example? That was malpropism. Do you remember we were in the car? Yes, that's what I was
and you literally used the word wrong.
Okay, so I should say gaffe.
You were trying. The word we were looking for, or the word that he thought he was looking for, was cacology. Was that it? Cacophony or cacology?
CACOLOGY.
Sure. Yeah, you're gonna edit this video. Put the definition of that somewhere. Cacology. It's basically when you. Okay, well then, screw you. It's basically when you mess up a word that you don't know, and it's funny because he was talking about someone doing that. And then he did it. And I thought it was hilarious because he doesn't mess up a lot. He really doesn't. He does not mess up a lot. But when he does, I try and call him out on it because I try and humble him back to my level of stupidity.
You know, I mean, this is a perfect example. So when I say that we differ in personalities and values, I think that we should acknowledge the fact that we really do have a lot of similar values. Both came from a faith-based background, went to a same school. Both were very passionate about education. She says I'm smarter than her. She got into all the schools I wanted to get into.
Stop.
So yes.
Okay, here's the thing.
I got the wait list. She got into Stanford, UCLA, USC. She got into USC the first time. I got into USC for the grad school. You know what I'm saying? So she and I both share the education part. Do you want to say something about that?
Here's what I will always say about my quote unquote success academically. I just learned how to play the system. I don't think that something went wrong. I don't think that I necessarily was like smart, or that any of the information that I learned in middle school and high school stuck in my brain. But what I will say is that in the moment, I knew exactly what I needed to do to get an A. And I did that thing, and then I wiped it from my mind as soon as I could. And here's what it was. Because I have an actor brain, I memorize things really well. So when a test would come up, I would literally just memorize things. But with the whole brain psychology thing, as soon as I didn't need the information anymore, I got rid of it. And so each test came around and I was doing well, and then it would just go away. So I genuinely do not think I'm smart. I think I'm just aware of what needs to be done and when.
Yes, I think that being a good student, I do think it does take some intelligence, because figuring out how to play system is very, very good. I think the thing with me, and the difference between me and her specifically, is that this is what a trait that a lot of people that are very good at what they do are, but they wish that they weren't. I know that was kind of confusing, but
I don't know what you just said, but okay.
You're gonna understand as I go through this.
Okay.
I am a front runner. I start off things very, very strong.
Yeah.
And then I end up kind of finishing kind of meh. You know what I'm saying? So I started I started high school around the top of my class. I think it was like 8th after my freshman year. And then it was like 15th in my sophomore year, and then it was like 22nd in my junior year.
They really had rankings like that all the way through high school?
Class rankings, yeah.
Oh, that's so damaging.
Yeah, so basically,
that's trauma.
I think me starting so strong, I got lazy. I got comfortable. And that's one thing that's the difference, I think, between me and her. When I feel like I am when I know what I can accomplish and I see it actualized, I feel no need to then validate myself again and again and again. I'm like, oh, you guys already know what I'm capable of. I'm not going to try anymore. What I see with my girlfriend is that she understands that if you don't give this effort every single time, you are at risk of losing something.
Yeah, but I think that it's also, especially when it came to school, I don't understand how this wasn't your case, because his mom is a teacher. But I felt like I had huge expectations of myself when I was in high school specifically, because I'll preface this with, school's not everyone's niche, right? Everybody's not an academic person. That does not mean you're not smart. That does not mean you won't be successful in life. It just means that the setting of school and the way that school is organized might not be the best way for you to learn. Now, I say that to introduce that my siblings, I'm the youngest, my siblings were not great schoolers. They did not do bad necessarily. They just, they weren't top of the class A students. And I could tell that my mom did not like that. And so when I was in high school, I was like, I'm the last chance she has to have a straight A student that she can brag about, because my mother loves to brag about her children. Oh my God, every opportunity she can get, she will brag. So I was like, I'm the last opportunity she has to brag. I got to do good. And so, like I said, I figured out a way to do good. But in that, I also had all this internal pressure where I was like, I would be pissed off if I didn't get an A. I remember, did I tell you about the time that I got a 39.5 out of 40, and I got mad at my teacher. I got mad at my teacher, not because I didn't get 100, but because she didn't just take off a full point. Because I felt like it would have been better for me to get a 39 out of 40 than a 39.5 out of 40. And in looking back in hindsight, I looked at that test because I have it in my room right now. I looked back at that test. I should have gotten 3 questions wrong, because I answered 3 of them wrong. But somehow I got a 39.5 out of 40, and I don't know. It pissed me off in the moment. Now, if I get that, I'm happy. Oh my gosh, I'd be so happy if I got that on any college exam or anything like that. I'd cry. I was pissed off, and I literally went to her during office hours. I complained about it. Would you ever do that? Would you ever complain about a 39.5 out of 40?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I think for me, I don't know. For me, I've always just had this kind of understanding that I get things, and it's just hard for me to want to. For me, it's all about not willpower. What's the word I'm looking for? Motivation. It's all about motivation when it comes to things. You know what I'm saying? There were certain classes, my STEM classes, I took far more seriously than my literature classes.
Mm-hmm.
or anything concerning the arts. I still did well in those classes as well. But I knew that there were like things that I like prioritized. And if you weren't on my priority list, I wasn't giving you the attention I need. Now, I will say that I was like doing a lot of different things in high school that may
Yeah.
have taken away from academia, but I went to a tough school, so I'm not mad about it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But to navigate from academia for a second, that's not really the point. The point is we brought up the ideas of value versus personality. I
Yeah.
think that's a really good thing, because I do agree with you in the fact that sharing similar values might be the fulcrum of the argument, right? If you don't have any similar values, like let's take Monica Geller and old boy from French, right? Old man, Richard. What was his name? Richard?
Yeah,
I don't
Richard.
All right. So the reason that Monica Geller and Richard didn't work out is why? It's
because Richard didn't want kids, right?
Have the same values. Yes,
Yeah.
Richard did not want kids, right? So
They didn't have the same future plans.
I think that you can even go a step further, right? Take a look at Monica and Boxer Boy, right? Okay, I think another reason they didn't work out, so if you're really thinking about it, they're not even that much alike. This is an entrepreneur that's rich and famous and is a boxer. I don't know why I'm using Hollywood TV to go.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I probably should be using real life examples, but like I don't know any real life examples, so we'll just use this. This is a Hollywood famous entrepreneur or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dating Monica, who's not like him. She's a small town chef.
Yeah,
or, I guess
they literally met in a diner.
Exactly.
Yeah,
those are two opposites, but that could work if Monica was okay with him getting his face pounded in every single night, right? But she's not. She wants her husband to, like, I don't know, come back alive and not deformed.
What a crazy request of a woman.
Exactly. So I don't know. I think that this is probably the biggest point we've made thus far in our 40 minutes of talking, is that I do think that like having opposite values, that's probably an issue. You probably want to correct that part as soon as possible. But having opposite personalities, there will be bumps along the road. I promise you. I don't know how detailed we finna get in the next, we're probably gonna end this in probably 20, 30 minutes, but there will be bumps and issues with opposite personalities. Believe you me.
I think it's also
things that can be rectified.
It's learning how to get through the bumps. And I think that's what we have had to genuinely like work on, because even I think one of the big things about a difference of even behavior between the two of us is that like I said, I'm very emotional, and that is with every emotion. I feel every emotion very strongly. If I'm very happy, I'm very, very happy. If I'm pissed, I get pissed. Cam, however, doesn't always know when the pissed thing is coming, because it sometimes can go 0 to 100. Not often, at least in my opinion. It doesn't happen too often, but when it does, I get pissed off. And clearly that's not something he's a fan of, because I don't think anybody would be a fan of their partner getting pissed off for little to no reason. But to me, it's not no reason. I am always justified in how I'm feeling and how I decide to express my emotions. It's just not on the same caliber as what he would get to that same emotional level for, right?
Yeah, I mean, the way I would put it is I grew up in a household where only one person I would say my mom just didn't get that emotional in some ways, but really only one person in my household was allowed to express their full variety of emotions. That was my dad. My dad could get as mad as he wanted, he can get as, you know what I'm saying, tired as you wanted, annoyed as you wanted. Everybody else, you know what I'm saying, you were taught to keep your emotions in check.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut.
Very, very quickly. I think the Chase was raised in kind of a little bit more liberal emotionally, where her mom like gave her the opportunity to really express herself.
To an extent.
Right? And I don't think that I was raised with that level of expression. And so the way I kind of approach things, and for some reason, the friendships that I have made in my life, I've always had people around me that didn't look to express them, that kind of had a control of how they express themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like they would never get this angry unless you really did. Like you would have to really, really do something to see us fly off the handle. You know what I'm saying? The only time you would ever see me get like angry is just somebody trying to fight me. You feel me? You trying to fight me on the court, I'm gonna go crazy. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna go that. But that's the only time I will reserve that type of anger. Everything else, I'm not gonna get that angry with you unless I'm joking and we're having an argument. Because that's the one time I do kind of let my, like, if we're having a kind of jokey back and forth argument, I get a little loud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get a bit dramatic. But otherwise, I reserve my emotions for like very specific moments. And I just, I think that there is power in understanding and kind of hearing people out with even their emotions, and understanding that like they're a different type of people. So
yeah, but I think it's also the way that we figured out how to get through that is and it's the most stereotypical answer when it comes to any kind of relationship, but it's you gotta talk. And especially when you have these differences between you and your partner, you gotta talk it through. Because if you don't, there's these big like lumps are just gonna be sitting on you for so long, and you're gonna grow to resent the presence of those bumps, the presence of those differences between you that you don't want to just talk about. You have to be able to talk about the things about your partner that either piss you off, make you super sad, make you not want to be around them. Like, you got to talk to the person, because otherwise it's just going to keep happening. The behavior is going to keep going. The attitude is going to stay the same, and you're going to continuously keep getting mad until it blows up into something that it could have been avoided.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Yeah, that's a big thing. I think, not pointing fingers here, but I think that one thing that one of us that is a little bit more emotional than the other struggled with was talking it through the emotions, right? If we got to a certain emotional level, that was probably as much as one of us could take for that night, at least in that moment. And we would have to stall and then figure it out another time. Not long after. Sometimes it would even be like 10 minutes after.
Yeah.
Where cooler heads prevailed, but
not that anyone was pointing fingers, as you said. If it was me, though, I'll just talk on it as if it was me.
Yeah.
Just in case. Yeah. I think with me, one of the ways I have learned to control my emotions, because I recognize that I'm not the most like stable when crazy. My emotions come into the picture. I learned that I do need to take some time and separate myself from the situation, whether it's usually on more like angry or hostile moments. But I figured out that I cannot stay in the situation and try and figure it out once I'm mad, because it's just, my anger is going to take over more than reason. And that's also when I'm sad or when I'm about to cry. I like, specifically when I'm going to cry in a moment of like, you don't deserve to see me cry, because no. I have to separate myself from the situation. And now that has cost me some things in the past, which is stupid, and screw you. To those people who know who and what I'm talking about.
I don't.
It's okay. I'll explain it to you later. I think me stepping away is a tactic that I have learned to help me put my best foot forward. And unfortunately, not everybody knows that that's happening, and they just think, I'm not going to talk to you right now. And that's understandable, because sometimes I genuinely just walk away. And again, not the most healthy way to deal with this, but I get over things so quickly. Once I let myself take that break, I let myself.
The difference between me and her.
Oh my God. I literally, I can get over something. If you give me time to just breathe, I can get over it 5 minutes. It gets worse though. If I get over it in 5 minutes and I try and explain myself what I believe to be logically, and then the other person in the situation doesn't try and listen to what I'm saying, or is so stuck in their own, I'm not even talking about you, is so stuck in their own idea of what happened that they won't consider giving me the chance to explain myself.
Well, she done gone off and talked about her ex, y'all. Look at this.
I'm not talking about my ex.
Look at this.
I'm not talking about my ex either.
All right, well, we don't know who you talk about, man.
You know who I'm talking about.
All right, well.
It happened in the fall.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Okay. Well, I'll explain it to him later. He's smart, but he's not quick.
She's not good at clues.
Oh my God. Do you want me to just say it? I'll bleep it out
It's
later.
up to you.
Yeah, no, I'll bleep it out later, but I was talking about Nick.
Oh, okay. See, that's an interesting one. This person we bleeped, because I would say that you guys, if he were, it's just funny because this is gonna be real funny for reasons that people don't know. But if he were your age and you guys were, let's just say, in a romantic relationship,
Ew.
that is so ironic. But okay,
Stop.
if there was someone similar to him your age and you guys were in a relationship, that's somebody that I would call more your non-opposite. What is that word? Your likeness?
Sure.
Right.
Your
So I think
non-opposite?
I think that you guys would probably be closer to what I would call non-opposites, and that's an interesting thing to look at because like the reverse uno of our situation is how would I be with, and I've dated girls like this, but how would I be with a girl that kind of matches my energy? Have I actually?
No. I think from what I know.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
From what I know, you haven't. Because I think something that you value in a relationship, and please stop me if I'm wrong, is somebody that pushes you past what you know or what you think is possible for you.
Yeah,
and I think,
do like,
and it's not that you don't do that for me, but I feel like if one of the reasons you do it for me is because I do it for you, and that's also one of the reasons I do it for you, and it's a good give and take between the two of us. Well, yeah, it is a paradox because I feel inclined to push you to achieve things and keep going in endeavors because you have done that for me in the past. And I assume you've done that for me in the past because at some point before that, I helped you get to a certain point. You know what I mean? It had to start somewhere, but it is a give and take relationship in that aspect of we don't let each other fail, or we don't let each other give up. We don't let each other not achieve what we know that we can achieve, or what we know the other can achieve.
Well, I'll say a good way to put it is that we don't like to settle. And so
it's also why we argue a lot.
Yeah. So like, I think like a good example is I think I've been trying to like, okay, I think right before we started dating, I was at maybe like 900 YouTube subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
And then since then, I've gotten my first YouTube check. You know what I'm saying? I've hit a couple thousand. I've done a lot of things. And I'll be honest, I think that part of that is having somewhat, because before that, bro, it was just like, it was kind of coming with the flow. I make a video here, I make a video there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there is something about having someone that wants to go in the same direction as you in terms of never settling until you reach a point where you are content.
Yeah.
That's special. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just talking about going for a PhD eventually. Mm-hmm. She didn't even bat an eye. You know what I'm saying? And I told her I got a B- on a test, and she's like, "What? Are you kidding me? Like, it's a grad school test. It's hard."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But she's
like, yeah, it's hard, and I acknowledge that. And I told you this. I know that those tests aren't meant for you to get an A. So the fact that you got a B- is great if you really think about it. I just don't want you to be satisfied at a B-. And I think that's what I was trying to say. Like, I know that it's great. I know that the average person quite literally would get a C or lower on that test, and you did not. And I am so proud of you for that, because you are so smart and you're a genius. But I don't want you to think that, well, I got a B- now, so on a test that you're supposed to get a C on, so you already know what I can do, I'm not going to try anymore. No, because you already said it. You said it earlier. That's kind of the mentality that you typically had in the past.
Yeah, and I think
I don't want you to get stuck in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that since she's an actress, it looks very different for me in terms of how I push her. One way is just like feedback I'm not. Listen, I ain't no director. I've never done anything.
He's good though.
Filmmaking or anything
He's
like
good.
that. But I watched a lot of TV. You know what I'm saying?
Very
I'm one of those
TV.
people. Yes, I'm one of those people that when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, the singing, the dancing, the songwriting, the playing, I tried once or twice. I've been in a movie. I've played a little piano. But at the end of the day, I realized that type of talent stuff, it's not for me. But
Yeah.
I have an eye for what works. You know what I'm saying? I would love to direct or film or write a movie one day. Just have to see. But I think that's one of the ways that I can push her. Another big thing I feel like where I've been able to assist, it's just like it fell out of my head, but hopefully it'll come back to me later.
I can, if I may, I have horrible self-doubt because one of the things that comes with acting is constantly being told no, and not even directly. It's just you sit in front of a camera for hours upon end doing like a 30-second clip of something, trying to find your best work, and you do it and you submit it and then you just don't hear back. And it's gut-wrenching. And then you see something on Instagram that's like, this person is the new lead of this TV show that you just auditioned for, and you're just like, and it's some famous person that obviously just got an offer for it and probably did an audition. Not to discredit anyone that has taken a role from me, but you see those things happen and you're just like, oh, okay, guess I wasn't good enough. And I tell Cam that all the time. I'm like, I'm just gonna use a random person, but I auditioned for Grey's Anatomy and China Anne McClain beat me out. And I'm just like, why did I even audition? That was a waste of my time, because I wasn't even in the running if she was doing it. And almost every single time what Cam says is either at least you got chosen to audition. That means that they saw just a picture of you and they were like, I want to see more. Or you were in the running against somebody that already has a name. And I think that one always gets me, because it's just that it's true. There was this person that either got an offer or got like special treatment towards auditioning, and that's fine. But I was still in the room. I was still part of the process. I was in an option. In that
typically my favorite one is it'll happen when it happens. You know what I'm saying? It was meant to be when it's meant to be. And I do believe that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have to speak directly from faith, even though I would incorporate this to faith. I do believe that like things are going to, like, stuff will come your way when it's time to come.
Yeah. What is for you will not.
It'll find you.
It'll find you.
Yeah. It'll I don't know, that's just one thing that I try and keep in mind with her. That's something that works very well. So yes, that is a huge part of it. Values, and then personality. You just have to be you gotta work, you know. It's not gonna always be easy. Most of the time it'll probably be fun. You know what I'm saying? That's probably something
more scary that way.
We can talk about some of the good stuff, you know.
Before that, I think it's kind of scary, at least to me. I'm not a huge fan of couples that don't fight or argue, like, or that just automatically everything that they do, they kind of like link up, they're the same. And I'm just like, it's cute and it's great and I love that. But you have to, like, what's the fun of life if you can't explore opinions and personalities that are different from yours?
Yeah, I think a big thing with me in every relationship, I think every relationship that I've ended, happened because I couldn't express myself the way that I wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You felt like you had to be something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we had that problem like 2 months into the relationship, and then I was done with that. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of moved past that part quick.
Because you talked to me about it. I was scared.
You know
I cried.
I
cried.
I'm the type of person. Listen, I'm the type of person where it's gonna come out one way.
Yeah.
Now, I'm probably gonna do it in the nicest way possible. If I don't like you, it's gonna come out in a bad way. But people I like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it as gently, as nice as I can say it, but it's gonna come out. Like,
Yeah.
end of the day, I'm gonna have to tell you, bro. Like, I'm gonna have to tell you, you know.
Do you remember that day you had that first like actual conversation with me? Because I remember it distinctly.
Yeah. I sit people down. I tell them, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'll make it
I remember it
nice and gentle.
because I was wearing my Care Bears onesie.
Yeah, I also don't like onesies. So.
Oh my God. Can somebody in the comments somewhere please tell this man that there's nothing wrong with onesies and that onesies are amazing?
I say there's anything wrong with them.
Awesome.
I don't like them.
No, but for real, if you've made it this far, first of all, thanks for listening. Yeah. Second of all, let me know what your opinions on onesies is, because I want to know if I'm strangely just into them at my age and if he's on the right track. I want to know, because I have 5 onesies, and that is not the same as a onesie. I have a lot of onesies. I love onesies. I think that they're cute. I used to wear them just literally around campus when I was in college. Like, it was just something I did. I want to know if I'm alone in this. Do you wear onesies? Let us know. Put it in the little comments.
Let me know if you a boyfriend wear onesies too.
Would you, as a boyfriend, wear a onesie?
Bro, I'll be seeing
because your girlfriend asked you to, or because your partner asked you to.
Walk around in onesies with their families, bro. I'll just be like, I could never. So I feel it. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? But it's not finna be
I
me.
told him that if we end up having children, all of them are going to be in onesies for the majority of their infancy.
And I'm fine with that. When you're an infant, what else you finna wear? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and rock a onesie. But by the time you are up and crawling, no, I'm playing.
Crawling? Man.
By the time you up and running,
they're in onesies for the first like 3-4 years of their life.
By the time you up and running, you don't need to be in a onesie, bro. There's not maybe.
I think you need to be in a onesie. I think you need to feel the joy that a onesie can bring.
Nah, she's just talking. All right, we gotta get to this good stuff. Let's talk
wrapping
about
it up.
That come to this, so we can end on a positive note.
All right.
I'll start. I think that one of the best things. Oh, hold on. Let me get to one of the. I'm just gonna say one bad thing, and I'm gonna producer there. Bro, one of the worst things about it is that you are going to have to drag your significant other that is the opposite of you to watch or engage or enjoy the stuff that you enjoy. Not always, because sometimes
that's
especially
so true.
Especially
oh my God.
The honeymoon phase, it'll be easy because they just want to do
honeymoon phase.
Yes, I would go to plays. I would do whatever we watch. She would watch Star Wars. She would do whatever she watched, whatever with me. Because you're in the honeymoon phase. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, all you want to do
still want the person to think that you're cool.
All you want to do is just enjoy
awesome.
them, right? And so you'll enjoy them doing whatever. And then you get to a point where you're like, all right.
You feel like you can start saying no.
All right, like listen, that was great, but I have you now. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have to listen to what this is about. This is really you need to start to compromise a little bit. So the dragging part will get good, but it'll be easier. I think that sometimes you just have to make a sacrifice and tell yourself, because sometimes people will know. Listen, sometimes your significant other will know that you are not enjoying it, but it means something to them to act engaged. That's something big that I had to learn. You know what I'm saying? Because for me personally, I'd rather you not act. You know what I'm saying? If you don't enjoy it, let's just get up out of here. But I learned, especially with women, I learned that at least acting engaged shows them effort. So that's a good tip for guys that like that.
I think on that point, and it's one of the things I actually think is a positive, you get exposed to things that you would not have otherwise tried.
That's a very good. Yeah.
Right?
I would have never watched Rent and probably would be fine, but at least I've seen it.
I was talking about TV shows, but I would not, if you talked to me 5 years ago, I would not be caught dead watching an anime. Not caught
Same
dead.
with me.
But, oh my God, he got me into anime. Not a lot. I'm not, what are they called? Like anime fans?
Either,
Weeb? Is that what they're
I
called?
do. I am a mainstream anime fan.
Wow.
I
I'm
also
a mainstream anime fan that doesn't love watching anime. Like I maybe get like 3 episodes or 4 episodes in at a time, and then I got a break because it's a lot. But I never would have tried it. Like the shows that you've showed me, Attack on Titan, like what is it, My Hero Academia? Never would have
they're
tried
good
it.
shows.
Never would have even looked at it.
Good shows, yeah.
Would you have looked at
The
Crazy
Office, nope.
Ex-Girlfriend?
'Cause I've
The
tried The
Office?
Office.
Like
I've tried The Office, so I'll give you props on this. I would have never gotten past. So I originally my sister had gotten me to watch 2 or 3 episodes of The Office, and she got me to watch one Stanley episode, and I maybe like chuckled. You know what I'm saying? But you don't realize the genius of The Office. For anybody that hasn't seen The Office, you don't realize the genius of The Office until about season 2.
Yep.
That's when it really.
But season 1 is like 6 episodes.
Right, and I couldn't get past those first 6 until she forced me to.
I did. Mm-hmm.
So
at the beginning of our relationship, we had this thing that was like, he'd recommend a show, and I'd be like, I'll give it a season. If by the end of season 1 it doesn't have me, I'm not gonna keep watching it. And unfortunately, that's what happened with Breaking Bad. Now, don't come for me in the comments about Breaking Bad, okay? Like I understand that it's a huge show and that it has a huge following and that the ratings for it are immaculate.
Yeah, you probably have to go more than 1 season on Breaking Bad, by the way. But yeah.
Oh God, it was just so boring. I finished that whole first season in like a day and a half, but I wasn't having it. Oh my God, maybe I should go back and watch it.
They finna come for you. But I hope there ain't no fans in the comments. They finna come.
I was just not having it. I should go back and watch it. I'll give it another try. But it wasn't for me at first. But I, again, never would have even tried it without Cameron. So that's a good for me.
Yes, exposure to New World.
What's your
good? Good. I mean, I kind of want to piggyback on that. Like, I wasn't finna leave the country. I still don't like leaving the country.
Oh my God.
But I left
traveling.
the country. You know what I'm saying?
For a day. A day.
Like, I've literally seen new places. Like, I don't know. With this, you are going to be forced out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And sometimes it'll be good and sometimes it'll be bad, but I think more often than not, you're going to find that you'll at least enjoy new things. Let's see, another good I would definitely say is I genuinely believe like there's not going to be a boring moment, likely because if it's not fun, it'll probably be the opposite of fun. But no, at least it won't be boring. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's what I'll say. There are very few times where I am bored. And that's just because we're either always having a great time or sometimes we're having a bad time. But there's very few times where we're ever bored. And I like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the reasons, like, we just went through an entire COVID relationship. Saw each other maybe once a month. Sometimes more often.
Sometimes twice. 3 times.
Sometimes none, you know? So like the only way to get through that to some degree is to not be bored. And I'm not gonna lie to you, one of the reasons, especially in high school, that I was in relationships that actually worked pretty well and were compatible. She's not gonna lie. She's not gonna like that I'm gonna say this, but
all right,
with with girls that were more like me, and I mean less of my opposite. One of the reasons that I cut those off is because
you got bored.
I got bored. You know what I'm saying? And so this is intriguing. But I think that on the other side, you also have to find peace at some point, because you're just with somebody that's your opposite and they're always driving you to the other side. You're not gonna find peace. And I think that we found in between peace and non-boredom.
Yeah. We found a way to keep it interesting without driving each insane. Completely bonkers. Which I like.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'll also say, so this will be a good and a bad.
Oh God. Babe, we gotta wrap this up soon.
All right, my camera's about to overheat. But this would be good. A good and a bad is people. You meet new people. Some people you're not a fan of. Others you are. I have some people that Chase has introduced me to. I love, like genuinely love, and there are others where I'm just like, I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. I'll tell you after. I don't hate anybody personally. It's not my thing to hate people. But I have some people that are that I'm not their biggest fans. I'm sure they're not the biggest fans of me either. So
I'm
and I think
gonna
that's
just
vice
confirm that
versa.
one. Yeah,
I think
a
that
couple of
vice
my friends
versa.
are not fans of Cameron. I
Yeah,
don't
I think
care
that it's
because
vice
I love
versa.
him, but
I think that it's vice versa for her. I have friends that, she's not the one to them. But I also have friends that really actually enjoy her. And I think that she is. So
did you hear my shoulder just pop?
yeah.
Did you guys hear that? You're welcome. Wow. Yeah, I agree. I think the people thing is interesting. His friends would not be my choice of friends, but they're actually pretty cool people. I also don't dislike most people. If I'm mad at you, if I don't like you, it usually goes away real quick and I just become indifferent towards you. There are a few people in this world that have rubbed me the wrong way and that will continue to be on my bad side. But the list is very small. But
I
yeah,
have a
that was
bunch of people that are itching to meet her. I have friends from high school, my
same.
church. We're supposed to be going on a double date eventually.
Yeah,
my
figure
really
that
good
one out, dude.
friends.
It's been like literally since basically the beginning. We've been supposed to be doing this. At least since the beginning of COVID, we were supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
He's TikTok famous. So
Oh my
help
God.
us out.
Anyway, before we into this, we're gonna do a little speed round of questions.
That's correct.
Now, when we discussed this, it was supposed to be things that are kind of like topical that we have 60 seconds
But mine will be
to talk about.
No.
I'm just gonna ask him questions that are gonna like hopefully stump him.
You go first or I go first?
But we'll see what happens. You're gonna go first. I'll think hard.
Okay, put your timer on. We got 60 seconds for me to answer the question.
No. You ask the question.
Oh, you want me to
I'll
go
answer.
first to
Yeah.
ask him? Why would you
Yeah.
word it like that? Okay.
Why would you not word it like that?
So this is going to be an entirely separate podcast edition. We're about to get Chase's take in 60 seconds. Your thoughts on the Will Smith Jada Pinkett situation.
How dare you?
60 seconds.
I think that
Faster.
just stop it. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of elements to this, and this is why we're going to talk about it on another episode. But I think that there is danger in similarity, like we talked about earlier. And I think that there is danger in toxic masculinity. I think, well, yes, jealousy as well. I think that there is danger in black on black expectations and realities of life. I think that there is a lot that was happening behind the scenes that built up to that moment that unfortunately
can we throw in some toxic femininity?
Sure, toxic femininity, whatever that means, we'll talk about it. I think I know what you mean, but yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a lot that fed into that moment other than the joke, and I think that needs to be spoken about and recognized. And I'm done now. Bye.
All right, my turn.
All right, random question, and I wrote it down, so I'm gonna read it. If a perfect, like down to the molecule clone of you were made right now, would it be you still, or would it be missing something?
When do I start?
Go.
You have a timer?
Yep.
Where?
It's right here. I'm looking at it. Go.
I think that it would be perfectly. I mean, you just said it was perfect clone, so yeah, it would be perfectly me. I think that it would be me down to the core until it was born, and then from that moment on, when you enter reality, you are your own person and you make your own decisions. You know what I'm saying? You are a product of your reality, product of your environment until you become aware that you are. And so,
so does that mean that it's necessarily exactly you fully, or is it just biologically the same?
Well, if it's a perfect clone, yes, it's exactly me until I let it know, hey, you're not me, you're a clone. From that point on, it is its own person. And it gets to make its own decisions. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like having a twin that's been dead, that's been in a
5 seconds.
It's kind of like having a twin that's been in a coma since it was born.
Interesting. All right. Fair enough. Go ahead. Your turn again.
Let me browse and make sure this is the one I want to ask. Yeah, I guess so. All right, I'm gonna just go embarrass you for the. Actually, this shouldn't even be embarrassing because you said that you're a big fan. Explain your obsession with JoJo Siwa 1 minute. Go.
Oh my God, it's not an obsession. I just really love her. Okay, so JoJo Siwa, I'm not gonna lie. I was a person that did not necessarily care about her until last year when she came out, because I was like, wait. And no, it was really COVID when she started posting on TikTok and stopped putting on the bow. I think that before that, I watched her on Dance Moms and all that, but after she left Dance Moms, I kind of just stopped caring. And then when she kind of got bigger on TikTok, I was like, oh my God, you're a human. I like humans. And so I paid more attention to her and the things that she does as a person, as an artist, as an influencer. And I started to really love her and how she interacts with her world and her fans and the community that loves her. And I just joined that community.
Obsessed. Go ahead.
I'm not obsessed. I am a fan.
Bro, everything this girl
person.
does. 10 seconds.
I'm a fan of the person, probably more than the art, like her art, but I think that she is an amazing person and I would want to be friends with her. Jesus.
Obsession.
Golly. Okay.
What?
I don't know. I say things sometimes, Cameron. Cameron, this one I didn't write down, but I just want to hear you talk about it. Explain to me why you believe that your winter wardrobe is so superior to everything else. And
in my wardrobe or
in your
yours?
Wardrobe
or in everybody else? Like, is my wardrobe superior to everyone else's in the world?
No, your winter wardrobe is superior to all your other wardrobes.
Oh.
And go.
Okay, well, it's the fact that I have a good eye for fashion, I believe, but I am just very, very lazy. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I'm not lazy with is coats and pants because they're more expensive. They're way more expensive than just buying shirts. And I could buy $10 $5 shirts. I'm not kidding. I could buy $5 $15 shirts and be chilling. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even have to be that nice of shirts. They just have to be cool. They got to be basic. They got to be something I can wear anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But jackets, nah, bro. I got to pick it out. It's going to look good because it's going to cost more. You feel me? It's going to be a bigger part of my wardrobe. So yeah, I just have so many jackets, and the fact that I have a good eye means that once I buy one, I'm not gonna be like my girlfriend and throw it out in 6 months. You feel me?
Oh my God,
she does do that. So I always make sure that I buy something. Literally one of her favorite jackets of mine I've had since high school. You feel me? So I buy stuff. I buy stuff that lasts a long time. There we go.
Screw you, okay? I don't throw things away every 6 months. What it is that I buy something. Whenever I buy new things, I feel I don't have a lot of room in my space, and so I feel like I have to get rid of other things to make room for the new things. That's what it is, okay? And also I wear a lot of clothing for auditions, and so the clothing that works for me, it gets worn. And so I know if something that I bought that I thought would be more useful is not useful, then yeah, it gets thrown away, but purely because I do not use it. That's the only time something will get thrown away. If I don't use it and I do not see a foreseeable future where I will need to use it, it's gone. Also, I just love shopping. It's really bad.
Did you already ask me my second question?
Yeah, that was your second question, babe.
Completely spaced.
Wow. And with that, we're gonna wrap this one up. Thank you guys for listening. I cannot believe
first episode.
Yeah, I can't believe anyone's still listening. If you're still listening, again, thank you for listening to us babble. Don't forget, put in the comments if you are a onesie fan or not, but also give us some more topics to talk about. I promise you, we can argue about basically anything. We argued about Pixar movies once.
Yeah, we tried to be, I'm gonna be honest, we tried to be a little bit gentler today.
Yeah, than we usually
fill
are.
things out, but it can get a little intense up in here. So don't be scared to throw out ideas.
Yeah, we didn't interrupt each other as much as I thought we would. I think it's because we were mainly on the same page about this one.
Yeah, this one, I mean, it'd be bad if we weren't on the same page on this one.
Right. We're in a relationship. At least for now.
So we kind of had to be on the same page on this one. But don't feel free to pick something that's a little bit polarizing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're taking sides. It'll be good stuff. But yes, as she mentioned, we'd love for you to leave comments, video suggestions. We'd love for you to follow us on all platforms that this will be released on. I'm sure that it'll be on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you can find it, including YouTube. All the links to the description to our social medias will be in the comments section. You guys should be good to go. You know what I'm saying? If you are interested and you mess with us, let us know, because we want you here. You know what I'm not to only hear me on podcast, but I promise you we will be your favorite if you stick around.
Stick around. Anyway, that's all we got for this week.
Any last words?
See you later. Nah. Love people. Just be nice and talk to your significant other. Be strong.